Here is your latest African news. Chad to halve its troops fighting Sahel militants, spokesperson says. Chad has decided to recall half of its 1,200 troops battling Islamist militants in the tri-border area of Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger, a spokesperson for Chadian authorities said on Saturday. Chad deployed the soldiers in February to support a France-backed regional fight with insurgents that are linked to Al-Qaeda and Islamic State who have established swaths of territory in West Africa's Sahel region in recent years. The decision to withdraw 600 of these soldiers was taken with the agreement of Chad's Sahel allies. General Azem Bermondoa Agona said, speaking on behalf of the Transitional Military Council in Chad. The recalled Chadian troops would be redeployed elsewhere. South Africa. Facing backlash, EU says import of J&J vaccines from South Africa is temporary. The European Commission said on Thursday it had reached a temporary agreement with South Africa to use a plant there to bottle Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccines that are being imported into the EU after criticism of the arrangement. On Wednesday, the World Health Organization Director General Tedros Adhanom said he was stunned to hear that J&J vaccines were being exported from South Africa to the EU because the bloc has very high vaccination rates, while even the most vulnerable people in many African countries have not yet been vaccinated. A spokesperson for the European Commission told reporters on Thursday the agreement with South Africa was reached after J&J faced problems in producing vaccines in the United States. The arrangement means South Africa drug maker Aspen Pharmacare bottles the vaccine produced elsewhere, mostly in Europe, and then transfers the finished doses to South Africa and the EU. J&J had no immediate comment on its bottling operations and the number of doses to be transferred from Aspen to the EU. Diaspora. Black Wall Street survivors accept Ghana citizenship. Two survivors of the 1921 massacre of black people in the US city of Tulsa have accepted the offer to become Ghanaian citizens. Viola Fletcher, aged 107, and her brother, 100-year-old Van Ellis, are currently visiting Ghana as part of a week-long tour of Africa to mark the centenary of the killings known as the Tulsa Race Massacre. They have been visiting historic sites, including the Osu Castle dungeon, where enslaved Africans were kept before then being shipped abroad during the transatlantic slave trade, and made emotional remarks there, decrying the horrors of slavery and calling for African unity. They also laid a wreath at the tomb of the Pan-African human rights activist W.E.B. Du Bois and paid a courtesy call to President Nana Akufo-Addo. The centenaries said that they chose to visit Ghana because it represents Africa. Uganda. 20 African countries meet in Uganda over IPR promotion protection. Copyright experts from at least 20 African nations, including Uganda, are currently negotiating possible ways through which member countries can collectively consolidate creative works and innovation for the benefits of brains behind the ingenuity and creativity. In Uganda, disputes pertaining musical and inventions ownership have recently generated intense debate, with some ending in courts of law. The week-long conference started on August the 20th in Kampala, and it seeks to establish a command center which will, among other things, facilitate enforcement of rights, thereby reducing situations resulting in acrimonious relationships between or even amongst authors, musicians, and inventors, questioning their creative works. Sudan and South Sudan. South Sudan to reopen borders after 11 years. Sudan and South Sudan have agreed to open their borders after 11 years. This was announced after a meeting between South Sudan President Salva Kiir and Sudan's Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok, according to President Kiir's office. The diplomatic meeting, convened in Juba, also resolved the reopening of water transport. The two parties engaged in extensive talks and candid discussions on all the aspects and fields of cooperation. The official launch will then take place on October the 1st, 2021, by both parties. During Omar Bashir's regime, South Sudan and Sudan closed much of the 2,000 borders in 2011, hitting traders and communities on both sides of the disputed line. The borders were closed in 2011 when relations deteriorated after the South seceded following a long civil war, taking with it 3/4 of the country's oil. However, in January 2016, President Omar Hassan al-Bashir of Sudan ordered the opening of his country's border with South Sudan, but this did not unfortunately last. DRC, Congo Brazzaville. Congolese Rumba hopes to make UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Democratic Republic of Congo has given the official kick-off to a campaign to put Congolese Rumba, one of the most popular forms of music in Africa, on UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage list. The bid, which was lodged in 2020 by both the DRC and its smaller neighbor, Congo Brazzaville, Congolese Rumba, developed in the Congo River basin in the 1940s, was inspired by African, Latin, and Caribbean music. It gained widespread popularity in the 1960s and 70s, developing spin-offs including a high-tempo version called Sukus. Kenya tops the tables as U20 Under-20 World Championships End. Kenya finished at the top of the medal standings as the curtain was drawn on the 18th edition of the World Athletics Under-20 Championships at the Moi International Sports Centre in Kasari on Sunday. The lovely sunny afternoon brought along 7 medals, 3 gold, a silver and 3 bronze. That saw Kenya's medal tally surge to 16, 8 gold, 1 silver and 7 bronze, 817, for the country's best ever performance in 11 years at the World Junior event. Their achievement superseded the World Junior event, surpassing their 2000 Santiago, 2006 Beijing and 2010 Macton. The event was also a successful one, showing Africa's ability to host international events. Thanks for watching. Visit our YouTube channel Tuna Cheki to watch our daily news reports and our website at tunacheki.tv for all the latest news updates. Also, don't forget to catch our new show, Startup Africa, every Thursday on our channel. You can directly support this new series by becoming our YouTube member or becoming a patron. And remember, Africa is watching. And remember, you can also leave your suggestions of topics you'd like us to cover in the comments below.